Alright guys, I'm going to give you the rundown on a G-body gas tank. If you're trying to reuse your original sending unit, it's like say your sending unit's giving you fits, or you got a car that you've drug in and it's been sitting for years like I have. These tank strainers are always, especially like this car has been sitting since '05, and it didn't have any gas in the tank, so this thing was just dried up and falling apart. So that is not going to do anything but suck it in the line and clog the line up. So it's always good preventative maintenance to drop out. If you get a drag car in, if the inside of your tank's clean, you can for sure reuse it. But anyway, just put a new strainer on. It's funny, if I go to my local O'Reilly's, the only tank strainer they list is for a fuel injected 4.3 V6 Monte Carlo or Grand National. They don't even list it for the regular carbureted G-bodies, which I think is weird. But if you can give them the part number for the AC Delco, they can get it. Isn't that funny? But here's the part number you need right here, TS1000 AC Delco new tank strainer for carbureted. So anyway, I went ahead and put a new one on mine. Also, my sending unit was not working. I bench tested it. I'm not going to run you through on bench testing your sending unit. There's plenty of videos on the line, on the YouTube here. Anyway, mine ended up being, this was loose. This was very loose. So I ended up taking just a little 1/4 inch socket and I set it on there, and I used channel locks on the bottom of the connector right there, and on top of that, and just squeezed it together and pushed that clip right on there. Now it works. So anyway, if you've got a sending unit and sometimes it works or sometimes it don't, or it don't work at all, it's pretty, these are pretty basic to try to diagnose yourself. It could be that, or now your connection in here is another thing that could be corroded. I usually pull this little tab here. I use a little bitty flat blade screwdriver like this one, and I get in there and I just pull that straight up, and I barely move these up just a little bit and slide it out, and there's a little contact on there, and then there's also a little wire, I don't know what you'd call that, thing that runs up and down. I just take like some Scotch-Brite, you could use like 400 grit sandpaper or just something, and get in there and just clean that, and then clean your little contact up, and then put this back together. And I fixed a lot of these that weren't working because it's such a simple design. Also check your ground, because the ground is probably going to be 99% of the issue. This just screws onto the body back there. Look how rusty that connector is there. So anyway, just check your ground. It'd be pretty easy to do. You could hook a little jumper ground onto it and just jump it to the body. This whole, all the tube, everything, basically the grounding point, so check your grounds first if your sending unit's not work. It's pretty simple to do. I did one time have to cut the end off and just put a little, a new replacement on there and screwed it back to the body, and then it worked fine. But anyway, that's pretty much the rundown on a G-body tank. The other thing, you can buy from O'Reilly's a lock ring kit. It comes with a new lock ring and a seal. But the seal that I got was like a hard plasticky thing with a little raised flat tab on it, so I didn't like it. So I ended up, my little local Napa down here, it has a ton of O-rings in stock on a shelf, and so I just took my tank O-ring down there and mashed it up. So I got a brand new one. These things, these O-rings, like this one is still really soft and pliable and probably fine, but if you can see them dry rot cracks right there. So anyway, they're cheap, put them on. But anyway, if your O-ring's still good, I would just go try to match up a new O-ring and roll, man. So anyway, hope it can help some of you G-body guys.